Yeah. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
Stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke.
Yeah, hey, well, we can hold a peace or we can wage war, but I'm gonna get what I came for. Real gang, that's a true name. We all graduated to the two-door. Sacred Global, that's an infrastructure. All y'all niggas like the Titanic. I'm the iceberg, talking no Zucker on the front lines, but we don't panic. Shit getting messy, got nothing to rest, and I'm tired of niggas. They front they blessings, they want my suggestion, but don't want the fee. I'm just doing me, I don't answer their questions. All this flexing, got no one to see. All this aggression, I just want some peace. Not even sure that I like it in heaven. I guess when we get there, then we gon' see. I do not understand, I do not get what you do. You only got one life, but you act like you got two. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
Hey, y'all some jokers, y'all a bunch of clowns. You will not get a laugh out of me. You can talk, but you can't denounce. I live a different theology. Why I transferred to a new account? You just fucked over a prodigy. Posted up with a rented crown.
You are the king and apology.
You about to see a new side of me. I hope you know. We stand up and watch our enemy go. Empire fall, my legacy grows. I might just hop on this melody flow. All this vision, no clarity though. Y'all play a game that I bear in my soul. Ebony ivory, nobody knows. Business vasectomy, nothing can grow. Everyone promises more than they actually do. We don't deliver on anything other than truth. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. You really have people fooled out here, don't you? When are you peasants gonna learn that you can't pretend to be a king? It ends today.
Swolenormous.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 16 hundo and 54 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and y'all hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. And I guess we don't have the avatars coming up today. I'm not sure if the chat's working, but it doesn't look like I can see the faces. So I'm just seeing text. So make sure you use the hashtags as appropriate. Today, we're going to jump right into today's episode because it's Ask Papa Swolio. Use your hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. I'll be taking questions as long as not as long as they're questions. If you got questions, when you stop having questions, we stop the show, and we'll stop the show eventually anyway. But make sure you ask your questions. Drop it in the comments down below. Hashtag APS, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Remember, before we get started, you can subscribe to the podcast everywhere. Remember, subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review if you love the podcast, and I'll be happy to give you a shout out here on the show. I love to hear what you have to say and how the Daily Swole affects your daily routine. I want to know how your nips your nips tingle. You know, how warm your taint feels when Papa Swolio goes live.
He's heating up!
I get it. I know how it is. But a reminder that tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, we have our weekly accountability meeting. This is for members only. So if you're not yet a member of Swolenormous X, check out swolenormousx.com. We got Black Swole Week going on right now. I know a lot of you have been messaging me saying that your gyms are shutting down. Okay. All right. Settle down, front row. On TikTok and on Instagram and just in DM, people are saying that their gyms are shutting down. What am I going to do? And X, Y, and Z. We dealt with this earlier in the year. I know there's been a lot more reopening, but now there's a lot more closing again. So you could drop that in the comments down below. If your gym is shutting down in your area, don't worry. Don't worry. You still have access to your training. You have access to everything inside Swolenormous X. So the big thing that you need to remember, if you're part of the Swole fam, that you're all set. You're all set. You have streaming content 24/7, 365. You got all your yoga classes. We got new releases coming tomorrow. We have new releases every single fucking week. We have a full meditation center. We have full programs. You have everything that you need inside Swolenormous X. So you don't have to worry about getting shut down. So you can't lock down Papa Swolio and the Swole fam. You can't lock down Swolenormous X. You can only make some sick fucking gains. That's the deal. The home gym is always open. Make sure you prep your shit. Make sure you order the stuff you need to before those lockdowns come, because the winter's coming. And as you know, it's going to be a dark winter.
Come on, man.
It's going to be a dark winter. Can't shut down these sick fucking gains.
U.S. Sunday, greatest country in the world.
Greatest country in the world. All right, so tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, Monday, November the 16th, 12 noon Eastern time, inside the private group for Swole fam members. And of course, we'll be uploading that into Swole TV soon after, so you have access to that. Much, much more to come. We're just getting started. We got a big year, fam. Big year. Big stuff coming. Okay, let's see. Let's get into this. Let's see. Get a couple comments. Let me go. We got here. Yes. Nips pinched every day. Very nice. I don't know why I'm not seeing avatars. It's really weird. I'm used to seeing your avatars now, and I'm looking for avatars. I'm just seeing names. Let's see here. Nika, Papa, today I found in the wild a trigger warning for intentional weight loss. Like what? I know.
Matt Damon.
I know. It happens in the wild. Where'd you see that? Intentional weight loss. Oh, you mean you intentionally tried to do something? I tried to lose weight and I did. Oh my God. How dare you try to do something and accomplish it? How dare you try to do something? How dare you? How dare you try to do something?
How dare you?
So inappropriate. How dare you try to lose weight? How dare you intentionally try to do something? And how dare you succeed? Fucking sons of bitches. Goddamn sons of bitches. Goddamn. Yeah, we got a little nut problem here. We were going to skip the busting of the nut, but we must. We must bust. Let's get this beesh out of there, right? Drop some unicorns in the comments. Put some respect on it. Yeah, beesh. Let's get that swole card out there. Come on now. There you go. Eat. All right. Eat. That's a sexy beesh. That's a sexy beesh. Get your hair. Why is she so bashful? There you go, little Don King style. Very nice. Swole beesh. What a nice card. What a nice card. All right, fam. Make sure you drop the hashtag SwoleBeesh if you want a chance to win. Oh, settle the fuck down. Calm down. Calm down. You're not getting anything. You're not getting anything. You don't get any action until... You don't get action. You don't get action. No excuse. No excuse. She's protected by the Swole card. You fucking know better, Falcon. You know better, goddammit. Leo over there drinking like a goddamn alcoholic. It's Sunday night. Who drinks champagne? Who drinks champagne on a Sunday night? Legit. Who drinks champagne? Anyone? Anyone?
Matt
Champagne's
Damon.
gross. It's gross. Enough. Can we just end champagne? Can we end champagne? Why do you celebrate drinking something that tastes like dog shit? Please. So bubbles. And it's got to be in a tall, skinny glass to keep the carbonation. Oh, shut up. Give me some scotch, motherfucker. Give me some fucking man shit. Give me some man shit. Way too much caffeine today. It's wearing off. It's wearing off, but I got like the remnants of some coffee. All right. We'll settle down. Ryojin, I drink gin on a Sunday night. Oh yeah? A little victory gin. Just kidding. Only for the blue hairs. All right, let's see what we got here. That was highbrow. If you picked up on it, you can stay. If you didn't, you could stay too. I need the viewers. Come on, we need this. Hell, hit the like button, by the way, when you come on in. Hit the like button and let's get this party started. So make sure you use the hashtag. Use the hashtag AskPapaSwolio because I'm not seeing avatars, so I'm looking at text, so it's kind of hard to pick up on your comments. If you asked a question already, make sure you ask again. I'm scrolling through trying to find some questions. I do have some questions from Instagram stories, so if you have a question, let's get this going. Boom, drop your question in the comments below to be featured. Ask Papa Swole, you know the fucking deal. And of course, if you want a chance to win today's Swole card, we'll give this away at the end of the show. And this is a little special edition. If you're brand new to the podcast or you've been here before, obviously we usually go just the tip. We go knowledge cock balls deep. Today is Ask Papa Swole live. So your questions, you make the content today. What do you want to ask? What do you want to talk about? Drop your question and I'll take them. And we'll give away this card at the end. So you could drop Ask Papa Swolio, hashtag APS, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. And of course, if you want a chance to win the card, hashtag SwoleBeesh. We'll take our first question from Soundtrack Technoid, regular viewer. Thank you for being here. Let's see, what's the best way to make it through holiday season? I hate this time of year. Everyone starts binge eating, and I have been so good with exercise and eating, I don't want to fall off. Do the same thing you've already been doing. That's the easiest answer. It's not the most romantic. There isn't a romantic answer. It's either you do it or you don't. So the best way to make it through is just to do what you're doing. If you've been so good with exercise and eating, then just keep on eating well and exercising. There's no difference. The days might be a little shorter because they still insist on changing the time. So now it gets dark at 2 p.m., which is stupid. So the days might be shorter. Okay, cool. Different music is playing on the radio. If you listen to the radio, it might be snowing where you live. Okay. So if you live in a cold climate, don't eat so much sugar. Eat more protein and fat like you're supposed to as a human being. It's evolution. You're supposed to. You're not supposed to be pounding tons of sugar and carbohydrates in the winter because they're not available. All right. You won't be bloated. You won't be putting on tons of weight if you're sticking more towards healthy fats and protein. Drink your bone broth and keep exercising. Right? Just keep doing it. It doesn't have to be a fancy answer. It's not going to be something, wow, how am I going to do this? What am I going to do? I'm going to do this special stuff. No, quite the opposite. Do the same fucking shit that you're doing. Stay on point. Stay focused. And we talked about this yesterday, the day before. I posted a brand new Swolenormous audio experience on the other podcast. How many of you are following over there too? Remember that you can follow all the shows. Just type in Swolenormous on your favorite podcast app. So we have Red, White, and Swole. We have the Swolenormous audio experience, and of course, the Daily Swole. So I posted something. We had a question the other day about Friendsgiving, and I did a little follow-up on Swolenormous audio experience about Friendsgiving. And it's pretty much, you got to learn how to say no. Most people are trying to be, they're selling their souls. You don't have to, you can be selfish. It's important to be selfish. It's important to focus on yourself first and focus on the shit that you need to do. Everyone else can come second. Even if you have kids, you should still take care of your health and still make yourself a priority. I know sometimes you have to take care of some things first, but you can still make yourself a priority. It doesn't change the fact. Hit that like button, motherfuckers. Hit that like button. Let's go. Let's go.
He's heating up.
Oh, fuck off, Falcon. Enough. Just need to uppercut that falcon, that crazy beesh. Crazy goddamn beesh. The second gen master. Ooh, second gen master. Papa Swolio, have you seen ad from Noom saying eat what you want and lose the weight? No, I don't even actually know what Noom is. I don't know what it, I don't know exactly what it is. Is it like a diet program or something? I don't really know what it is. I know the name. I might even have talked about it before in context or something else, but I've never actually looked into what it is. No, I haven't seen the ad. All right, scrolling through. Let's see. If you ask a question, I don't get to it, you can always ask it again. Just don't spam the comments and I'll try to find it. But that's why you want to use the right hashtag. That way I could pick. There you go. Not bad. Not bad. Decent. Decent. Not bad. I wasn't, don't judge me on that one. I wasn't trying to make it something. Oh my God. I tried to really get a 10 out of 10. That was a comfort burp. Just holding you accountable. Ask Papa Swolio, did you ever make those selfish shirts? What shirt? Oh, we have a lot of stuff on in design, you know, a lot of things coming. What in particular? Like be selfish or be more selfish? What was exactly, what design were you referring to? If it's not up yet, then, well, I shouldn't say if it's not up, then we haven't made it. There's a bunch of things that we haven't released yet. All right, we'll take remember, use the hashtag AskPapaSwolio so I can see the damn thing. And we'll get into a comment over from Instagram stories.
What's in the box?
This one's from Hatch Damien, or it's Hat Chadamian, or it's Hatchda Myon. My name is Hatchda Myon. When does, ask Papa Swolio, when does cardio start to affect muscle growth? That's a vague question. It's really hard to say. I mean, any kind of energy expenditure might force different adaptations. Obviously, if you're focusing a lot on cardio and a lot on running, bottom line, you have to remember your body is going to adapt as best as it can to the type of stress that you're putting on it. So if you're doing a lot of cardio, a lot of endurance work, your body is going to adapt towards more endurance work. That's why sprinters and bodybuilders look different than, for example, marathon runners. So if you're doing tons of cardio, it's going to negatively affect muscle growth at a point when it depends on the person, depends on your genetics, depends on your diet, depends on your training, depends on what type of cardio, how much cardio, when. It's like when, I don't know, on a Wednesday maybe? On a Wednesday? I don't know, maybe Thursday afternoon around like 2:30 around tea time. I don't know. So it's kind of a vague question, but it will. The most important advice that I can give you is to, whenever you're adjusting or changing, or let's say you're increasing the frequency of your cardio, decreasing the frequency, increasing anything, do so slowly. That way you can that way you can modify it, and that way you can monitor it. If you make drastic changes, you might negatively affect your progress. You might really halt your progress. You might really throw a monkey wrench into your flow, and you won't be able to pull back on the reins. So just make sure whatever adjustments you make, that you do so gradually. Good question. Good question. Nicholas, I'm lucky in avoiding Thanksgiving with family, doing OMAD and having ribeye and bacon. Man after my own heart. A ribeye and bacon. Nothing wrong with that. God damn. Nothing wrong with that. Sounds like tonight. Yeah, all Swole shirts are selfish because we say fuck your feelings. Hatch the my own. We should get Swole Beesh. Well, we already have the Swole Slut gear. We need some Swole Beesh gear now, right? Swole Beesh, Swole Slut. Just every variation, every little thing that I'll say, every little phrasing that I'll say, we'll just make a shirt out of it. And if you want it, you can grab it. Remember, don't forget, Swole fan members, you get 20% off. Make sure you check your Get Started series for those of you that are joining. I'll send out another Swole text probably tomorrow with that same link. If you already have it, you can just scroll back. The same link works if you just scroll back in previous texts. But if you haven't gotten that yet, I'll send it out. Once in a while, I send it out again. That way you have it. Easy access. Gonna start sending out a lot more Swole texts in the coming weeks. So just keep an eye on that. Don't block me. Don't block Papa. Don't block me. I'm going to get sad.
Come on, stop whining.
I'm sorry. I want a Tainty Magooch shirt. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I got to make a note. Swole Beach. Yeah, Swole Beach care. Dainty. It tries to like change it to Dainty Magooch. Got to make notes. I think we already have that in the mix. We already have that on the list. All right, let's see. Any more questions? Let's see. Cerny, Papa Swole, I know you're busy. I know you're busy, but wondering if any new master classes will be coming soon. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I think this coming week we're going to be doing some more polls and things like that of what sections, because as you know, we regularly give updates to the kitchen. We're regularly doing meditation and philosophy and yoga classes every single week. So other things, other aspects. There's been a lot of restructuring. There's a lot of new updates coming to the site that you're going to start seeing. We'll talk about it more tomorrow, but you're going to start seeing in the next couple of weeks, you're going to start seeing some visual differences and some different usability differences. So there's going to be a lot of different updates, but definitely looking forward to, producing more content, more master classes. There's some other things that we're releasing too, some other stuff in the works, but this year seems like it's been going super fast. Every time, I swear to God, it was just Monday yesterday. Literally, every single week it's Monday already. So it seems like I almost feel like I'm losing time. Legit. I almost feel like I'm losing time. Every time I pick up my head, I'm like, shit, because we're working on all these things behind the scenes, and then it's okay, I guess we'll do that for next week, or we'll do this. Plus we have New Year's coming. We have the Swole Year's Eve party. So I almost feel like there's just so much stuff coming on. So much stuff. That's going to be fun. Swole Year's Eve is going to be a lot of fun. We get to recap this year. Time flies in prison. Yeah. But bottom line, we're going to be doing I meant to do it last week. I meant to do some, like a poll to see what everyone want for what some of the stuff you all were interested in seeing more of. But yeah, every single section will always have more stuff coming when it releases, and when it releases that's another question. But yeah, we're always looking to expand the current sections. I'm excited. So the answer is yes. More masterclasses coming. Let's see here. Welcome to the fam, Michelle. Signed up today. Pretty damn excited. I'm pretty damn excited too. Happy to have you here. Stoked. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see here. Another one for Technoid. I am training for a marathon and I'm focusing on core strength in the gym to enhance the frame I'm running on. Any suggestions to muscle groups and workouts to work on for running? Not in particular. I really am hesitant to answer those questions just because I've never ran a marathon in my life. So I would default to someone who runs marathons. Hard to say for the little hacks, but I would definitely make sure that you're running properly. I would definitely make sure that you're running you're strengthening your tibialis anterior, especially if you're running heel to toe. Ouch. Glute work. I would focus on glute activation. That way you're getting good stability for your femur. Make sure you're working on, you said you're doing core, which means glutes, not just your six pack, because that's not really going to help you. So make sure you're actually doing core, intrinsic core. So glute activation, very important. Yoga, I would say, but I've never ran a marathon. So anything aside from just that common sense approach, but sounds like you're already kind of focused on it. Moderate carb. Any plans on having a baby Swolio? No, not now, not in the near future. Not even in my brain. No desire yet. If ever, I'm not sure if that's something that I want. You can't go back from that. There's no recovery. Papa Swolio is good for now. For now. Let's see here. Any questions are valid. All questions matter. All questions matter on the Daily Swole. But some questions are dumb as fuck. So we'll see if we get any of those. No, it's okay. Question, Papa Swolio from Strength in All Forms. Papa Swolio, do you think it's common for lifters to have too much lifting volume to the point of it screwing with energy levels? Even with sleep and diet on point, I've recently dialed back on volume. So, do I think it's common for lifters to have too much lifting volume to the point of it screwing with energy levels? You're talking about recovery. You're talking about overtraining or under recovery. So I think it's common for most people. Most people are under recovered. Most people are, honestly, most people are under recovered without lifting. That's why the 7 pillars are so important. Most people are under recovered, even for just functional life. Most people aren't getting enough sleep. Most people aren't eating good food. Most people aren't hydrating enough. Even without lifting, most people aren't doing basics for basic human health. Even moving, just basic mobility, even walking enough. So yeah, I think people, and then take that average person that doesn't take care of their health without exercise. It's kind of like it's part of it, of course, but, and then take that person that, oh, let me go to the gym. And then they train hard. They're also not hydrating enough. They're also not eating quality foods. They're not sleeping enough. You know, it makes it even worse. Of course, lifting and training is going to be better. You're not going to have, oh, I lift weights, but it's a good thing to do. It's better to do that and not have good recovery. It's better to exercise and move because most people have poor recovery even without lifting. So it's better to have lifting and also have poor recovery because you're getting other benefits from actually exercising and moving, but it doesn't negate the fact that you're not recovering properly. So if you're focusing on the 7 pillars, you're going to be focusing more on recovery. I really do think, especially after all my experience and what I do now, I'm not training with the same volume that I was when I was in the gym training. And a lot of you aren't too, even when you're at home. Now, I don't have a full-blown gym. I have heavy kettlebells. I have dumbbells, but I don't have a squat rack. So I'm not doing the same. And there's no reason why I can't have the same overload, but I'm not doing the same type of, I would say the same type of overload because I'm not doing heavy deadlifts. I'm not doing heavy squats like I was. I'm doing more repetitions. I'm doing stuff with dumbbells and kettlebells. So it's a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more loosely worded, I'll say functional, so to speak. So I'm still doing all the important movements. I'm working a lot more planes of motion. I'm not doing necessarily the same type of bodybuilding approach. And I'm experimenting with some different things that I haven't been focusing on from just going to the gym and doing a lot more sagittal plane stuff and doing a lot more multi-planar movements. But of course, with kettlebells and getting creative in a smaller space has been really eye-opening and really fun. And I feel better. My joints feel better. I have more mobility. I have less stiffness. I have less issues with any kind of tendonitis that has kind of been lurking in the corners from just doing weights. In terms of the standard dumbbell work. When I was going to the gym, I did a little bit of kettlebell work, but now when I'm at home, I'm doing a lot more kettlebell work and integrating a lot more with dumbbells, which is obviously more stabilization. You have more customizable movements rather than being locked into a barbell position. So it's led, and I do more band work here than I would do at the gym. When I go to the gym, it'd be barbell, dumbbell, cable, like most people. And of course I did yoga and stuff too, but resistance with that type of, so I'm enjoying that. Where was I going with that? So in terms of the overload, that's something that I've been hyper aware of, that programming, I believe, should be more focused on recovery. And that's, if you're focusing on recovery and you're mapping your program and you're mapping your approach and you're keeping in your mind fundamentally, okay, recovery is number 1. It doesn't mean that training hard is a distant number 2. It just means, okay, just like nutrition, calories matter. The amount of calories you're consuming matters, but quality comes first. Get your quality, and then that's a close second. You still need to make sure you're not eating too much of it, but eating quality foods is going to help you with your binge eating or overeating because it's much more satisfying. You're getting more nutrients. You're less likely to have any issues with overeating, much easier to mitigate that. Same thing with recovery. If you're recovering enough, less likely to overtrain, less because you're not under recovering, much less likely to have an injury and so forth. So it's very important and it's a very subtle change of the mindset. Doesn't mean you're not training hard. Doesn't mean you're not crushing it. It just means that you have your base layer of focus has a different perspective that most people don't have. So I think it's very common. Common doesn't mean good, of course, which is why you're asking. So good question. Let's see, Ray, Papa Swolio, are high carbohydrate diets, say 200 plus grams, really necessary for building muscle, or do you think it's mainstream fitness advice? From personal experience, I mean, I was eating a lot of carbs. I was eating a lot of sweet potatoes and stuff when I was bulking. I mean, I would say it's much more, it's better to, if you're trying to bulk, if you're trying to put on like a lot of muscle, I would say it's really hard to do that on keto. It's really hard to do that without carbohydrates, to put on significant muscle mass, like a lot. If you're really trying to bulk, it's just much more challenging. You know, if you're really trying to put on a ton of size, you're going to have a rough go at it trying to do it with, I'm not going to say it's impossible or it's not necessary or it is necessary, because you always have those people that say, well, I do this and I've gained muscle, but that's not how I did it. So I was eating much more. I was eating more sweet potatoes. It doesn't fit my personal approach now. I find that I'm really satisfied and very comfortable eating less of it. I'm retaining less water. I feel better. I look less bloated. I see pictures and stuff. And I'm like, oh, even like a year ago, I just feel better when I'm not doing a lot of carbohydrates. So you can still put on muscle for sure when you're eating. You just don't necessarily need to have a high carbohydrate diet. Like I wouldn't even necessarily say that that's a high. I mean, obviously if you're going over 200, 300, 400 carbohydrates, I just don't think it's good for people to be pounding carbs all the time. And remember, when you're talking about health or getting certain results or a certain outcome, that's a whole different conversation. I really don't think it's healthy to be, you know, a massive, massive human being. It's a lot of stress on the body. But of course, if you want to look a certain way, you want to have a certain physique, then it's kind of, you have to do certain things a certain way. Bulking on low carb, just not really going to work out too well from my experience. Let's see. Vincent Pham. Papa Swolio, I'm switching from a first shift job to a third shift. Any advice on how to go from sleeping at night to sleeping during the day? Oof. Fuck. Yikes. Well, I mean, sometimes I go to sleep really, really late. But any advice on how to go from sleeping at night to sleeping during the day? Advice. I personally I don't have any advice because I don't recommend it. That's just the opposite of what a human being should be doing. That's really stressful on the body. There probably will be some better advice in the comments from people that are nurses that works third shift or do security or Leos in the comments. So I'll leave that to all of you. But in terms of advice, man, that's a tough lay. That's tough. We'll come back to that. I'm going to keep on looking through the comments. We'll keep the conversation going. I mean, what kind of advice are you looking for? Like, what should you do? I mean, it's like you go to sleep, but it's going to be, I would make sure that you definitely have to black out your windows, get those blackout shades for sure. That's really tough. It's really tough because it's fundamentally not what human beings should be doing. Trevere 270. Hey, Papa, what type of weight training would you suggest for a female with good genetics? I can start to see muscle in 1 to 1.5 weeks, but doesn't want to look too big at 5'9", can get to look too bulky. You know, women, it's not that easy to bulk. I'm not sure. You're going off subjective feelings. You can start to see muscle in 1 to 1.5 weeks. You're not building muscle that fast. So you're probably just losing a little bit of water weight, or you get a little inflammation in there, or you lose a little bit of intramuscular water or something like that. Your body doesn't not going to, pump, just all of a sudden explode in one week. So that doesn't really happen. So you don't want to look too big at 5'9". So I would lift weights. Lift weights and just maintain. I'm not a big fan of maintenance. I think you could always push yourself no matter what. Just the mindset of maintenance is kind of like, I only put in partial effort. So in terms of not looking too big, well, that's going to come down to how many calories you're consuming. That's going to come down to the volume, the training volume that you're doing, the training volume, the intensity. But remember, as your body adapts to that, it's very easy for humans to start sliding backwards, because if you're aiming less than what you're capable of, you're going to start kind of sliding back downhill. So it's going to come down to your caloric intake. It's going to come down to your training intensity, your training volume. I would recommend not doing a lot of those heavy compound movements, super heavy squats or super heavy deadlifts, those big base building exercises, but they're very important, but you can do them in different ways that are less likely to give you that boxy physique, that CrossFit man-woman look where you get these chicks that just look like brick shit houses. I'm assuming that's what you're referring to. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just using that as an extreme example. A lot of these questions, I want to kick these back up into some conversation. So definitely feedback into it. Definitely, if I respond, make sure you ask again. So I'm not done with these questions. So if you ask a question, I kind of give you a little couple hits back, follow up. Super Gen, Papa Swolio, when building muscle, how far should you push yourself? What I mean is, I had a leg day on Friday, did forced reps and drop sets, and my quads are still tender to the touch. What was that on Friday? What's today, Sunday? So what? You crushed it. Good for you.
Wow.
So what do you mean? You're meaning how hard should you train? How far should you push yourself? I've been sore for days for a leg day. I've trained myself to be sore for 4 or 5 days. That was average. I don't like being that sore now. I don't like being like crippled now. But definitely being sore for a couple days. You did leg day on Friday. It's Sunday. It's been like one day. Forced reps, drop sets, that's going to do it. You're going to get sore from the eccentric reps. You're going to get sore from isometrics. You're going to get sore from the eccentric, which is when the muscle's contracting while it's lengthening. So that's what's going to get you really sore. So if you're really trying to get sore, you're really trying to shock the body, overload it during the eccentric, because that's when the muscle contraction is the strongest. So if you're doing forced reps and drop sets, yeah, you're going to be, if they're still tender to the touch, you might just have done more volume or trained harder than you expected to. Could also have to do with hydration, could have to do with other types of electrolyte balances and different things that give you that perception of soreness, but it's hard to know exactly how hard to train. So that's why it's good to log your workouts and have an idea of your progressive overload. That way you don't go from, hey, I'm a newbie in the gym, and you're fucking doing the same workout. So if a newbie that never worked out before did the workout you did, Super Gen, they'd be in the hospital. They'd be completely jacked up, probably. So it's all relative to what your body is adapted to. So if you are keeping track of how much you're doing, like how hard you're pushing yourself, and you start seeing that your strength is declining, you're feeling fatigued, these could be signs that you're not recovering enough. So you might want to give yourself a recovery week or back off the intensity and the load, maybe do higher reps, maybe not do as many force reps. So then you kind of learn, okay, how hard to push yourself. So is this, I guess the follow-up to this, Jen, is this something that is abnormal? Have you never been this sore before, or are you just asking in general because you were just extra sore after this workout? Good questions. APS, Brenven3, thoughts on the APS portal? What's that? And MeWe. I haven't used any of that. Have you tried like them? No, I have not. I was looking on Instagram yesterday and all these hashtags were restricted for misinformation of the election, thinking of ditching it. The big tech, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, they're a hot mess. There's disgusting censorship on these platforms, but it's kind of like, well, everyone's using them. What are you going to do? So you have to kind of adapt, but I haven't used Portal. I have an account on, I have an account on all these places, but I don't necessarily actively use them. But I have my accounts, so then I can still post fitness content, adjust from there. Like I have an account on Parler, I have an account on, I have a TikTok and stuff. I'm just everywhere. Anywhere there's attention, I'm going to go. I don't care if it's perceived as for kids or for left wing or for right wing. Like I'm going to have accounts everywhere, because if people are going to go there eventually, then I want to count there. I don't care I don't give a fuck where it is. So what's happening is you're seeing a fracturing because obviously the big tech takeover and mainstream media is just completely fucking lost. So there's no trust there anymore, because they've gone for the clicks. And when you start whoring out your integrity for clicks and for clickbait information, you're bleeding dry, because mainstream media was dying, literally dying in the past few years because of the rise of social media. So you have YouTube channels that get millions of views with no overhead, because someone has a cell phone in their basement, and you have the likes of MSNBC or CNN or Fox News. It takes hundreds of millions of dollars to have all these people working all this stuff for the same outcome. You have a video on a screen and someone's talking to a camera. Like someone can do that on their iPhone. So as technology and as the internet has become more and more mainstream itself, everyone's a competitor. So you have a lot of these independent channels that have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 million followers that get more views than these big networks. It's just people want to get their information from unbiased or less biased sources that don't have all these hidden agendas and circle jerking on behind the scenes. So you're going to see more of that. You're going to see a lot more of these smaller apps that rise to, as long as they're not getting blocked, as long as they're not getting stunted by big tech. But you're going to see that. You're going to see a lot of these other little things that grow. It's just creating more fractionated, which is not a good thing, but you're going to start pushing a lot of people that can't say what they want to say to these other apps. And then things are going to become a lot more, you're going to have a lot more of these echo chambers where you have just alternate realities and people live in their own little bubbles. And you have that already on YouTube. As you can see, if you go to my channels, I have a lot of followers on certain channels, but they don't get distribution. So why do I get 99.6% positive feedback on my videos and they don't show it to more people? Because I say offensive stuff and I say things that hurt people's feelings, or they don't want to see, or they don't have the whatever. I swear, whatever it is. So they only show it to a small percentage of my audience. They don't suggest it to more people. They don't promote my content. They don't put it out there. So a lot of channels that get either banned or blocked or this, they go elsewhere. And then you start, instead of having little sections and little parts and little silos on YouTube, you start having these other apps that pop up like, hey, come on over here. You can say what you want to say. Cool. We'll come over here. And then you start having all these other things. That's why TikTok rose to prominence. That's why that got popular, because people were tired of the other ones. And TikTok is a much better designed app for sharing and for virality and for creating and for interacting. And then, it's the same reason why Facebook ripped off Snapchat, and then TikTok, which was musically, played off of Snapchat. And then the next thing will come out, and the next thing will come out, and the next thing will come out. So these big tech apps are just shooting themselves in the foot because people are going elsewhere. Good question, Joe. Papa Swolio, how do you spot reduce fat on the taint? Because it's too slow. Good fucking point. Well, I'll tell you what. Just keep on watching the Daily Swole. Make sure you subscribe. Just make sure you subscribe to all my channels, and that should definitely help mitigate taintus swolitis, I guess it is. Swole taint syndrome, STS. Could be fatal if you're not careful. Keep an eye on that. Keep us posted. Marissa, Papa Swolio, jabroni here. Oh, you're not a jabroni. Struggling with the elimination diet, what would be plan B? Juicing to cleanse the colon? What? That got out of hand fast. That took a turn. All right, hold on a second. What would be plan... Okay. You said colon. Struggling with the elimination diet, what would be plan B? Juicing to cleanse the colon, aka juicing to shit my brains out, Feeling frustrated, lost 70 pounds doing a dirty elimination diet. Took a while. Marissa, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'll be honest, dear. You might want to follow up with something more coherent. Struggling with the elimination diet. You're going to juice to crap your brains out. You're frustrated and you lost 7 pounds doing a dirty elimination diet. Well, there's no such thing as a dirty elimination diet. So I don't know what that means. If you lost 7 pounds, try doing a clean one. How about that? Drop another comment. I need to hear more about this shit fest that you want to have or something. Oh, God. I love Ask Papa Swolio live. You never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to get.
Lieutenant Dan.
Any suggestions, Annika Skulanda? Papa Swolio, any suggestions why Yoga 3 made it hard to eat or drink my coffee this morning? No idea. What's going on with you, fam? We got some interesting questions. Why made it hard to eat or drink my coffee this morning? I have no idea. Maybe a certain twisting position. You know, when you are doing yoga and you're twisting and you're bending, think about this. You're actually squeezing your organs. You're actually helping with venous return. You're helping wring out your insides. You know, you have organs, you have fascial connective tissue that surround all the organs and compartments. When you're bending and twisting, you're squeezing like a sponge. So, and a towel, you're wringing your body out, which is great. So it might have just been perhaps some fluids that your body had to reabsorb. It could have just been maybe a little bit of a shift back to the parasympathetic. Maybe you kind of, I don't know, worked a little bit harder than you thought. When you're doing something like Yoga 3, it might have just throwing this out there, activated your sympathetic nervous system a little bit more than you expected or used to. And it might have taken a little bit more of time for your body to shift back and kind of come back to a normal resting state, which is when you're able to digest more. It's when you're normally eating. That's why you don't run on a treadmill while you're eating. That's why you might not be hungry right after a hard workout, because your body is reabsorbing fluids. Your body is shifting back into more of a, lymphatic drainage, venous return, lower the heart rate, relaxation, parasympathetic housekeeping. You go to the bathroom. That's why you usually don't have to go to the bathroom when you're running or exercising. Right after you're done, then your body kind of shifts back into that relaxation state. If you're brand new to the podcast, make sure you hit that like button. Helps with distribution. Hit that like button, beaches, and make sure you subscribe to the Mancast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, everywhere you like to bang your ear holes. Let's see what we got here. Scrolling down. All right, I'm going to get current with questions. I'm scrolling down. Let's see here. APS, why does it burn when I pee? Might want to get that checked out. Drink some more water. Go see a doctor. I'm assuming you're trolling. Let's see here. Organs need room. Bianca Vasquez Tobar. What are your thoughts on oatmeal? I used to eat it. I don't anymore. Always sat like a big hunk of lead in my stomach for obvious reasons now, but I used to eat it. I used to eat the gluten-free oats or something like that in the morning, but I have no desire to chew oats now. So I avoid it. Some people like it, but I find no benefit from oatmeal currently in my nutrition. Those are my personal thoughts, but you can all drop your thoughts down below. Papa Swolio, why does eating carbs make me want to eat a shit ton more carbs? Well, they're addictive. Sugar's addictive, especially in concentrated amounts. My experience is I tend to crave more carbohydrates when I eat more carbs because of that insulin roller coaster. Your body gets used to that kind of spike, that sugar rush. Not to mention, when you get certain energy sources, you tend to want to depend more on those ones that you're consuming. Just building those habits. I think it also depends on the carbohydrates you are consuming. But I find much more satisfied. I find myself much more satisfied when I'm eating proteins and fats and I have less cravings for food in general. I have less of those hunger pangs and like, oh, I need to eat now. I just have more energy throughout the day. I find less of a desire to eat, period, when I'm eating more fat and protein. Scrolling up. Let's see here. Cindy, tried my first grass-fed steak the other night. So fucking good. Good for you. Welcome to the team. Let's see here. Scrolling back up. May I miss a question? Let's see. Zach Shade, APS. As a mechanic, I work with my hands all day. I drink quite a bit of water, 4 to 7 bottles a day. After my morning coffee, my hands like to cramp up and lock in certain positions. Any advice? You may be low in certain minerals. You might be low in magnesium. You might want to look into magnesium supplement. You drink quite a bit of water, maybe not enough. Coffee also makes you piss too, so you might not be drinking as much water as you think. 4 to 7 bottles a day isn't necessarily enough water. Like what size bottle? You might want to look into a magnesium supplement. There's some good ones out there. Calm is a good one. A lot of times cramping can be a result of just putting it out there. It's a possibility. Could be a magnesium deficiency. Dun, 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 dun. Everyone's asking some really good questions. It's okay. It's okay if you got some trolling questions. I don't give a fuck. We'll be here for a few more minutes. What happened to the avatars? But I have no idea. What happened to the avatars besides people's comments? I have no idea. It's just not there tonight. At least we have the names. I don't know why. They're all showing up as blank heads for me. It must just be some error with the system. Who knows? Don't know. Hopefully tomorrow it's back. Surprised me. So hopefully it's not gone, but it could just be an update or something that needs to happen again. Don't know. I miss them though. I hope we bring them back. Remember, hashtag SwoleBeesh if you want to win today's Swole card. We'll be giving that away in a few minutes. Let's see. Alex Vandergeist. Good fucking name. Papa Swolio, any advice for those who go back and forth with their fitness level and weight because of eating disorders? I try to be consistent, but there are weeks where it overcomes me and it's hard. Any advice for those who go back and forth with their fitness level and weight because of eating disorders? I need more context. Any advice? Well, one, you should speak to someone. You should speak to an actual professional therapist that can actually help you with your individual issues. But for example, go back and forth with their fitness level, vague, and eating disorders, super vague. I mean, what kind of, you don't have to get super in depth, but I'm just saying, like, it's hard to answer. There's many different types of eating disorders. I try to be consistent, but there are weeks. Are you meditating? Are you practicing meditation, mindfulness? I don't know if you're part of the Swole fam, but you can check out the 7 pillars on our website. That way it can help you maybe fill in the gaps, find some triggers. If you're practicing mindfulness, it can help you narrow down and focus in on certain triggers that are leading you to whatever's setting you back. So, I mean, it's a good question, but it's a little bit vague to give an answer or an advice, but that's good advice right there. A couple pieces of it. That's a good question. Let's see. Dirty Randy, Papa Swolio, I know that post-workout refueling is unnecessary if you had a meal prior. However, if I work out fasted, how long would you consider too long to eat after a workout, returning from the gym? This is one of those things that I would usually say just eat as soon as you feel like eating. I never like waiting a long time after I work out just because out of habit. I used to do that whole, I work out and then I'll have my post-workout shake, back in the day. I mean, I've been lifting for 20 years, so I used to do that all the time. I mean, one of the things that's important to do is to regularly get your nutrition in. If you're trying to bulk, if you're trying to fuel up, you want to make sure you're getting your calories in. So if you work out fasted and you feel like you're starving, you want to eat, then fucking eat. Fuel up, bro. Right? I mean, after I work out, I want to smash food. I might have a couple tablespoons of honey, or I'll eat some fruit, or I'll go and I'll start making my food. So I worked out, we're doing this, and then I'm going to go eat. I'm going to smash food. So in terms of like an anabolic window, for me personally, and literally, this is just, you're by following the Daily Swole, by being a part of all this, I'm going through different evolutions of my own personal training too, like my own personal fitness. I don't really worry so much about that anymore. I just make sure I'm getting my food in. I still just focus on quality. I eat to satisfaction. I make sure I'm getting my food in. If I feel a little bit flat, or I feel like I'm losing a little bit of size, or I feel like I need more energy, then I'll maybe play around with some different things. I play around with carbs now. I eat mostly fat and protein, but I play around with carbohydrates in terms of sweet potatoes, how many I eat, how long I go without eating them, and how many I eat. And I kind of go back and forth playing around with different things with what works best for me. But in terms of how long would I consider too long? I don't know. I mean, how long would you consider too long? If you're starving after a workout, I don't know. I would only not eat if I don't have the time, if I'm not home, or I don't have my food available. Otherwise, I want to eat. For me personally, I just do my routine now, especially since this whole year and the lockdowns and me training at home and all that stuff, as we all know, I generally have just gravitated towards eating later in the day. And I was already. But if I work out first thing in the morning, I'm going to be eating earlier in the day than I normally would. If I train later, I'll normally eat later. I just generally like to do a restricted eating window. Some days I might eat during the day. I'm not a strict, like, okay, I'm intermittent fasting every day. I only eat. I don't do that with myself. I don't focus on, I'm only eating at this time, and I make it that I'm only allowed to eat at this time. Sometimes I do. Other times, if I want to eat, I'll eat. I don't hold myself to a strict standard anymore, as if it's illegal for me to eat at 1 p.m. If I want to eat at 1, I'll eat at 1. I just generally focus on eating later in the day. That way it just saves my brain space for doing other things. Oh shit. Papa Swolio, can we make this a multi-hour show? I told the wife I'd do the dishes after the Daily Swole. I appreciate that. I'm going to have to say no because I'm hungry. So sorry. Can't do that today. Can't do that. I apologize, Jeff. Another day. You're welcome, Zach. Check out Calm. You can get it unflavored too. Ren, I will want to know where that robe came from. Agreed. I still don't know. I forgot. Let's see here. Sit and spin. APS. Any advice for trying to put muscle on a scrawny calf? It's the only part of my body that seems to be like beesh. No. Doing squats, curls with an ankle weight, and nothing. Calves are hard. Full range of motion going up into your tippy toes, really good. I personally have found the best benefit from doing. Here I have a calf block. I use resistance bands. I also do donkey calf raises. Also, do kind of like hanging off a bar, doing for your soleus, doing kind of like a seated calf raise, but going all the way up into my tippy toes, full range of motion. I found the best thing for me was high volume, high frequency, like doing them more regularly. I took a few days off, but I'm getting back into a regular, usually daily calf training. So usually I've personally found that more volume, more often, and full range of motion, like all the way up in tippy toes, like a ballerina. Like think about who has big calves. If you see dancers and stuff and people like fucking like full range of motion all the way up, get that full contraction. We'll save that. We'll be having some more of that content inside X soon. Some of those accessory type of training protocols. That's one of the things that will be awesome. That's going to pair up really nicely with master classes and stuff. Ryojin, Papa Swolio, favorite yoga pose stretch. I love pigeon and camel. I like those too. Yeah. Favorite. Camel, yeah, I'm trying to picture. Yeah, it might be that one. I love pigeon too. I don't really think of them as favorites, but I love anything that twists. I love anything that gets my hip flexors are really important to me to focus on. So I usually like doing the plantar flex. I usually like laying on my back with my knees in flexion. Get that full knee flexion with hip extension. I like camel toes too. Good one. Let's see. Oliver, what's a good resource? For getting started on the carnivore diet, broccoli and shit makes me fart a lot. I'll do some research on my own, but any suggestions are great. Yeah, there's a great, there are a lot of people that have gotten really popular recently with the rise of the carnivore diet. Now, of course, it's different for everyone. You don't have to be full carnivore, but I do think if you're eating quality meats, you should be eating organ meats, you should be eating grass-fed meat. Was it Dr. Paul Saladino has a great book, The Carnivore Code, that's very popular, and he does a lot of podcasting and stuff, and he's been getting a lot of traction. So there are a lot of great books out there, but the fundamental aspect of eating a good carnivore diet is to make sure that you're eating nose to tail. You're getting, like, bone broth is great, eating the fat, getting quality meats. You're not just eating lean beef, eating nose to tail, getting organ meats in, very important. So you're going to get a lot of nutrients from the bone broth because you're getting, and make sure if you're making bone broth, you're not just eating you're eating the joints, you're getting the cartilage and tendons. And of course, it depends on if you're going full blown carnivore, if you're still going to have some fruits, if you're still going to kind of bounce back and forth with carbohydrates. So I would say I'm mostly carnivore, but I definitely eat fruit and carbs, but not as much as I used to. So that's one good source off the top of my head. Bam. Bam, 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 bam. Scrolling down to good questions. Good questions. A reminder that tomorrow is our accountability meeting. We'll be wrapping up in just a second. Reminder, we will be taking more questions tomorrow during the meeting. Of course, tomorrow's episode 1655 is exclusively for members. If you want to join, check out Swolenormousx.com. Got some awesome specials going on. Black Swole Week starts early because a lot of people are getting locked down again. Anyway, don't be without your Swole fam. Don't be without your training. 365, 24/7, 365, anywhere you slice it. Swolenormousx.com. Okay, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Check out all our shows. Again, of course, Swolenormous X, Daily Swole, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Check that out. And we'll have some new updates. We'll talk tomorrow. We'll probably do a poll this week on what y'all are most excited about for new releases. And I'm excited for a lot of these questions because a lot of the stuff that because I have this master list of all the things I want to build out for X and all the things that need to get done, want to get done with the updates. And of course, these weeks, like I said, these weeks have been going so fast. So every time we have a new accountability meeting, I'm like, fuck, like I feel like it's moving faster than I can create content and things that I want to release. So those of you that are excited for new content. So yes, for new masterclasses, we will have some more training content coming. Of course, you have the 12 months of programming with Scorched Earth, Swole Season, and the 90-day dash. So I don't want to give anything away. But I'm really excited for the new updates and for some new releases that we have. But we are coming in, FYI, we are coming into a new year. So 2021 is here. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit better than 2020. I'm not, I want to be optimistic, but not optimistic. I'm not super optimistic for 2021. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. I've resigned to just being like, you know what? We're going to find out. I'm not gonna be like, wow, 2020 is over. Yeah, we'll see. 2020 might just be part one. It's just a preview. So let's make sure that we're focused on our shit, but a lot of big plans for new content to come and for building this out even bigger and better than we have already. And it seems like every year it's like, oh, how is it going to get better? Remember last year's New Year's Swole? We're like, oh my God, 2019 was so huge. Look at all the stuff released. Now we're going to be looking back. Oh my God, look at all the stuff that we pumped out in 2020. So it gives you some perspective on what has happened in the year and all the stuff that's been released. And especially for people that are joining now, you get to see everything that has been released this past year. And it gets everyone excited, of course, for what's to come, because we forget sometimes how much happens in a year because we just get wrapped up in what we're doing with our family, with our work, with our careers inside the Swole fam. You know, everything's just been a blur, especially this year. It's been a whirlwind. So very excited. I mean, 2020 was a hot mess in some aspects, but it's been a great year in many other ways. So it is what it is. You just got to make the best of it. So high hopes for 2021, but we'll see. We'll see. 2020 was great in its own way. It was great in its own way, but at the same time, some people had a rough year in 2017. Some people had a rough year in 2009 or 2005. I mean, it's just, you know, it is what it is. It's another year. It just looks different, but doesn't mean some people didn't have a great year. Let's see. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the thing, Oliver. That's the thing. Quote, Oliver says, I hear people talk about how they can't wait for 2020 to be over. 2021 could be worse. Please don't build faulted expectations, fam. The date doesn't mean shit. I agree. I think we could be optimistic and we can make it the best. That's the thing. We have to make it the best. We're going to make it the best that it can be. That's our goal, is we're going to make 2021. 2021 is going to be the 2021 Swole fam. It's going to be fucking amazing. It's going to be amazing. Because we got each other and we're going to be building this bigger and better than ever. So it's going to be great. The Swole fam is going to be solid. We're going to have amazing content. We got amazing stuff coming. And this year's not over yet. Like, we're just in the middle of November. So we got more to go and we're not going anywhere. It's going to be fire. All right. So no matter what, just remember that we're working hard to bring you bigger and better things and just deeper. Always go deeper. Always go deeper. That's what she said. So Swole fam's got your back and Papa Swolio's got your back. I know you got mine. So we are going to ram. We're going to go fucking deep. We're going to go ramming hard into 2021. I don't care what anyone says. We're going to have a big 2021. We's going to have a big one. We's going to have a big Juan. All right. Bow, bow, bow. Good shit. All right, let's give away the Swole card. Good questions, good stuff. We got more stuff coming tomorrow. Remember, Swole fam meeting tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. We got some new stuff to talk about. As always, got some great fucking Swole fam posts. We got some new releases, and we will be going deeper and talking more about that tomorrow. Now, if you're part of the Swole fam and you didn't get your question answered, well, that's what we got tomorrow too. So if you got questions, Swole fam tomorrow. Obviously a private episode. So if you want to join swolenormousx.com, but remember, if you didn't get your question answered today, chats, you know, sometimes I don't see your question, but tomorrow we'll get to it for sure. All right, let's give away the Swole card. Beesh, if you use the hashtag Swole card, Jesus Christ, hashtag Swole fam. Where's my music? There we go. Give away the Swole card right now. Hashtag Swole Beach for a chance to win. Congratulations. Strength in all forms. Congratulations.
Congratulations!
I don't know your name, but congratulations. You are today's Swole Beach. How you feeling about that? Feeling a little...
I'd be the luckiest guy alive if that did it for me.
Well, you're the luckiest guy. I'm assuming you're a guy. Strength in all forms. Sounds like you're a dude. We'll call you Strength. Can I call you Strength? I'll call you Strength. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, Swole card 1654, and your mailing address in the body of the email, and we'll send you this Swole card. Congratulations. Very nice. Very nice. Applause around the horn. Very nice.
It's the fucking
Tanner.
Catalina wine mixer.
Congratulations, Tanner. You won.
Catalina wine mixer.
So now you're a Swole Beast. You could put that on your wall, your gym locker or something like that. So congratulations. Send us that email. We'll get you that Swole card. And tomorrow we'll go deeper. We'll talk more about what we are going to, we'll do some more polling. We'll do a Swole poll and we'll talk more shop and we'll get more specific. Because remember, tomorrow, private episode, so we can talk really in depth about Swolenormous X and more things that we got going. But I don't want to give away any secrets, but we got a lot of stuff coming. So very eager to keep on building. So for those of you that someone mentioned, I did catch at the buzzer when I was scrolling through the comments for the Swole card to see who would win. I did see someone ask about Swolga. So yes, there will be more Swolga. Of course, there'll be more yoga class as always. Someone asked about, Cerny asked about master classes. There will be more master classes. So all the aspects, every single section in Swolenormous X is always like anything else. Literally everything else. It's always under construction. There's always stuff coming. We actually have some new fundamental developments coming with the site itself. And so hopefully, those are all going to go smoothly and we're going to be definitely ramping up some different aspects of the site that's going to give much more content and value to members and non-members. So there's going to be a lot more stuff coming there. So new developments there, new updates there, little maybe styling changes and things like that. So it's going to be cool. And of course, we got more updates and more content that will be coming to Swole TV for members only. Very exciting stuff. So more stuff to come. All right, more stuff to come. Let's, I've been seeing in the comments. All right, settle down there. We got Nut This Beach. I get it. I know. No. Calm down. Settle down now. Goddamn. Easy, Falcon. Easy. Easy now. Up. Easy. Settle. Settle down. Sheesh. Fucking out of control. Oh, fare thee well. Gotta close that nut right. Woof. Very nice. We got it now. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 1654 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. Very nice. Woof. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Very nice. All right, fam. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Remember, see you inside the private group, 12 noon Eastern time. I will send you a Swole text beforehand. If you want to join, you still got time. You can make it to the accountability meeting. Head on over to swolenormousx.com. Check out the Black Swole Week specials. Join today, and I'll see you tomorrow for 12 noon Eastern time accountability meeting. Got some new shit See ya, fam. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Yeah, boy. Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 8 weights, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, try to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Thinking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't left and they so mad, it's like...
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
Don't forget to watch where the sun don't shine.
That's the bed that you made, that's the bed that you lay in. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard to the paint you.
What's your name, fat body?
I only go where they pay you. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. Hot topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits.